It's called Sugar Rush. Okay. Hey, everybody. I've got to admit something, okay? This week, my niece, one of my nieces, she was doing a Facebook Live for the company she works for. They sell candy. And she's my niece and my goddaughter. And I was like, I got to support her. Don't tell anybody, but I got 9 bags of candies.
I still have a lot of Halloween candy left.
Oh, yeah, but it's pretty big. Oops, hold on a second.
Oh,
And
look at you.
it's like 9 of these suckers.
Oh, my God.
I only gave one away.
You're so good to support that. Speaking of supporting things.
Yes, please. Let's get this one out. I like this one.
Oh. It is that time of year again where Mr. and Mrs. Claus go with the LCTA to the Walmart Supercenter in Pittston, PA. On Saturday, we're going to be there all day from 9 until 7. Okay, what we want to do is have you bring an brand new unwrapped toy, preferably for, kids ages like 9 through 14. There's going to be a list there too. So you could actually buy things at Walmart. There'll be lists on the door. This is where we did our spot at the PA Live station today. You can go on their website and see the actual clip. I did post the clip on my page as well.
How many years have you been doing Mrs. Claus?
3?
Has it been 3?
Or 4?
Not sure, but it's been a few. And you do good. You enjoy it. I had to say, when she showed me the picture of her all dressed up as Mrs. Claus, I said, Mrs. Claus is sexy as heck.
You have to say that. I pay her to say that.
No.
But I want to get our guest on here with us because he's awesome.
Yes, yes.
Right? So his name is
giggling
Steve.
in the background.
He does not know what he's in for.
Nope.
His name is Steve Rother. Right? He's a pioneering spiritual teacher and channel for the group, known for his warmth, clarity, and down-to-earth wisdom. A leader in modern metaphysics, he's taught at the UN, published globally, and continues to guide seekers worldwide towards empowerment, purpose, and spiritual remembrance through his books, broadcasts, and workshops. We're going to welcome him right now. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
And
nice to see you guys.
I don't need that. So according to, I can get one paper off my desk. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. But welcome to the Fox Den. Honestly,
thank you. It's an honor to be here at the Fox Den. Yeah.
That's our pleasure.
You and that bio does you absolutely no justice. We only talk to you for a couple minutes, and you can already tell what kind of a warm and caring man that you are. And
very decisive gentleman.
Okay, I'm done. That's it. That's enough.
You can go now. You can go now.
Okay.
I better quit while I'm ahead, right?
Take what you can get here.
Yeah.
We're not that. Gina's not that bad. Okay.
Oh, that sounded good.
I may or may not resemble that remark. I'm not even going to say it. Go there. I have. Okay, I'm going to put up really quickly here. Okay, this is his website where you can see everything that he is doing. He does so much stuff. His book that we're promoting tonight is That Spiritual Psychology. I do not have book in hand. I did read the PDF, so I made a little picture of it to hold up because I usually love to hold up the book. However, but the book was fantastic. Well written. When you say down to earth, way down to earth, everyone can understand it fully and completely. I love how you use your own clients, their personal stories to, coexist with everything that you're saying.
Right.
I mean, it's a perfect combination. I just really, really thoroughly enjoyed reading the book. My first question to you, and if anyone was paying attention, there's going to be a quiz later in the bio. I mentioned the group. Can you please tell me who is the group and
how did you meet?
what relationship do you have with this group?
That was my question in the very beginning. And how we met was kind of strange. I was not into metaphysics. I was a general contractor in San Diego. My wife was into metaphysics. She belonged to a church. Long story short, we were looking for something to do on New Year's Eve because I don't drink. So we're always looking for, something unusual to do that doesn't involve drinking. And her church was putting on this event. So we went there. I said, okay, I'll just pretend that I know what I'm doing there because I spoke a language that every other word started with F. So this was a really big change for me.
Gina is not, she got an F-bomb.
Yeah.
We know that one.
You know that one. So basically that's what happened. And then that night we just went through the whole night. We had a ceremony in the morning, the rising sun, where we would release the things we wanted for the previous year and set into motion things we wanted for the new year. We were supposed to have a page that we just ripped in half. We threw half of it in the fire. Mm-hmm. Everybody went ho, and then we were supposed to read the things we wanted to the new year. Well, by that time I'd gotten used to the people. They're wonderful people. They just made me feel really at home and comfortable. I told them right away I didn't know the language. I didn't know it, and of course they just all came out with incredible love. So it was a great evening. And that morning when I did that, the leader stood up there, and he was going to start off. And I'm over here hiding in the smoke. There's always a place where the smoke is, so I'm hiding over there because I wanted to watch everybody and say it right. So whatever I was supposed to do. So the leader comes up and he says, "I'm being told that Steve needs to go first." So he comes over and gets me.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'm giving my wife a really dirty look about now. And rip this thing in half, throw it in the fire. Everybody goes, "Oh, that's great." I hold this up. I've only got 3 things to read and I'm done, and I can't read it. The words are all over the page, and the tears started. All I can say is that they wrapped me. They hugged me in a way that it's hard for me to even describe. I'm even tearing up a little bit here thinking about it, but right. It's just basically my life changed in that moment.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was up there for probably 10 minutes. I was probably only up there for a couple of minutes. Everybody was standing like this, waiting for me to stop. I became aware that my shirt was all wet from the tears that were just flowing. And they were all really nice to me and everything else, but they said, where'd you go? What happened? I go, I don't know. It's just like time stopped. And right after that, messages started coming through from the group. And that's what started. That was the whole process. Yeah.
That's wonderful. What was your first book?
The very first book was called Remember. It was about remember who you are. Remember that you're a very powerful. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's the first one. And Crossing the Veil is the last one that I put up.
Okay. And then you wrote with your wife here, right?
I actually wrote Remember partially with Barbara. She was helpful too. Crossing the Veil happened after Barbara died. So it was kind of, we had always taught classes all over the world, actually in 26 different countries, about transition, about what happens when people die. It's actually a very important part of the soul process. We think of it as an ending, but it's not an ending. It's just a transition from one phase to another. And that transition can be huge as far as helping the spirit evolve. We should be teaching this stuff in school. And we're not.
Oh, yes. We always say that.
We're just so scared of this stuff. We're scared of sex. We're scared of death. We're scared of, unbelievable things.
Without sex, would any of us be here?
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Well, there's a lot of spirits that came to Earth just to experience sex. There's no
right? Kidding. Oh, I know.
True, yeah.
You do write about this. You do write about this in the book, and because they don't know that they're not physical beings, so they can't, experience. So they're a little jealous of us for that, and we're jealous of them for what they can do. But, the grass is always greener. That's
true. That's true. Well, they keep reminding us. They say you can do something we can't. You can touch each other. We can't touch
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know, and they say, so use it, enjoy, and, you know, enjoy who you are and sharing who you are and every other aspect of it. Very magical. Very magical.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is a good segue about your dad. You wrote about your dad as well in there, and I thought that was a cute little story. Do you want to tell that?
My mom and dad, I'm not sure exactly the story that I ended up telling in that particular book, because I've told many. My father was really my role model. He was my energy role model in this life. He just had some very fascinating things. But my father was a metaphysician who was way ahead of his time. Yeah. So he had the great idea of opening up a dating service for metaphysical people. He had the idea of, he called it conscious relationships. So he had all these different things that he was doing. He was writing books. He was actually channeling. He didn't call it channeling, but he was writing books. He was, you know, getting things, and he just wasn't taking off. It wasn't being accepted. He was just ahead of his time. He was doing pretty much what I'm doing. I get to do what he was trying to do and make a living at it. I get to do this and be supported. And I do believe it's because he opened doors. Yeah. A lot of people like him opened doors for me that just were perfect time. My mother, on the other hand, she was a writer who never got published. So here I am with 8 books.
You're fulfilling both your parents' dreams.
Exactly. So, yes, and they were just incredibly wonderful people. So it was quite a joy to. I think I got the pick of the litter when that one came around. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
oh God. So now, since I'm going to kind of back up a little bit.
Sure.
We're talking about the group, and since you've had your meeting with the group and accepted, and you know you're changing, what has this done really on your day-to-day life? You know, and are all of your books channeled through the group?
Well, even spiritual psychology was written in my words. So I was actually telling about doing a private session, and this is what happened with this person, and this is what happened with this person. What took place there is the group showed me how to do private sessions. Basically, I was doing individual sessions with people. And I caught myself saying the same thing to multiple people. And I started doubting myself. I said, well, I must be making this up, or this doesn't make sense. And I asked him about it, and they said, no. They said, there is a system. They said, there is a way that you can look at this, that we look at it. And that's when they started laying it out for me. And it really took place over about 500 sessions that I did, is when I was able to say, okay, we can narrow this down to 12 primary things that people wanted. And so even though the whole thing was inspired by channeling and channeled information, I actually wrote that book. So that wasn't in a channeled format. The other ones are all channeled. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go retail therapy for all your books.
Good.
As each book you're talking about is like, okay, I'm putting that down on my, spiritual psychology, because we're talking about that one. But you mentioned all the other books along the way, and each little, it's just like a little, for me, it's like a little piece of chocolate. You're holding a candy bar, but you're giving me, so now I got to go buy a whole freaking
Give the little piece. Oh, good. Good. Well, I was really blessed with being able to do that. I wanted to get out of high school as fast as I could. No way I was going to college. You could not have convinced me that I would write 8 books. You could not have told me that at all. I was just, I consider myself to be bright, but I was not academic. Fortunately, I ran across a very good editors and people that helped me. And I think the group had a lot to do with that. I think the group had a lot to do with bringing people into my life, very synchronistic ways and so forth to do it. It was fascinating, but that helped. That helped a lot.
For sure. I've always felt like that. People like Mama D, brought into my life. I mean, it was.
Yeah, we've never met face to face. We've never met face to face. We've only met through the computer. Because I'm up in Canada.
Yeah, she's in Canada. I'm in PA. I've been trying to get down
you
here.
have what you illustrate what we call spiritual family.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah.
what happens when people come together like that? They meet, they know each other
Yes.
intimately well, no matter what, even if you've never met, that's part of the spiritual family stuff. Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible.
If she ever came down here, I don't think I'd let her go back.
That's what a lot of people say. I'm not sure. I'm not sure from one day to the next whether my husband would like this or not. There'd be days when I get on his nerve. He's like, "Take her, go."
What part of Canada?
I'm in Quebec.
Oh yeah. I've done quite a bit up there. Done quite a bit of stuff. We did quite a bit around the Toronto area, all the way up to Sudbury, and then we did quite a bit of stuff on Victoria Island and the other side, and a little bit of stuff in Edmonton, and we've got to play around.
You've been everywhere. So you're published internationally. Your book has been translated into like a bajillion languages.
Not a bajillion. No, it was translated into 19 languages. But yes,
that's close to
that was a bajillion. Yeah,
that's close to a bajillion for us.
Told me a million times not to exaggerate, but here we are.
You see how she listens to me?
How awesome is that, though? To know that you're changing lives all over.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And when Barbara, my wife, and I started this whole process, because she was there at the beginning, obviously, there was friction. There was challenges. We had to redefine our relationship. Not only that, but we talked about the business. I was a general contractor. That ended. I basically stopped being able to get jobs. Doors closed.
Wow.
It was amazing. So I was kind of pushed into this work, which automatically supported me. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Now,
but yeah, there was a lot of transition.
Yeah, I did that. I had my late husband.
Yeah.
He had Central New England exterior specialists. I had decorative solutions. So I would design it. He would rough build it. I would finish it. I would put in the kitchens, the bathrooms, the floors, the walls. I would do all that, painting. And then I had a cleaning company and cleaned it up, so we were like all of that. And, and you okay, Mama? We can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Onyx stole a cracker. He's like, he sees crackers and he goes nuts. Red crackers, and he's a nut tub. So he stole one from upstairs.
Oh, okay. But since he died, it's like I could, half of my team really was gone, But my point of this is, you talk about like clear cognizance in the book, and I have that. I've always had that for construction. Okay, like
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I look at a room and I thought growing up, everybody was like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a shock to me to find out that it wasn't, because I can look at a room, I can see it blown up, I can see all the studs, I can see the jacks, the kings, I can see it all. I know how it's laid out. Okay, even if I was never taught anything, I would know how to do it. I knew how to tile. I just knew how to build everything. Furniture included. It's craziness. But I really seriously, hi Lisa, thought everyone knew how to do that, or everyone saw things. I call it the way that I did, Well,
a lot of them will, a lot of that's kind of the way. I got to talk to Edgar Casey's niece. She came to one of my seminars. I had dinner with her, and she was just a fascinating lady. She said almost the same thing. She said she grew up understanding all this stuff, and it wasn't just Edgar that channeled. The whole family understood it and either channeled or did it on the side or something. Table tipping was popular back then. But basically she said the same thing. She says, I didn't know until I became an adult and went to college that the rest of the world didn't do those things. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Did your husband work with you?
He did, when he was alive, and then I did what I could after, finishing up his businesses and stuff. But he had, roofing, siding, I didn't do that kind of stuff. I could, but no, it did enough.
Yeah, take the fun out of it too. You got to stay in the joy. Got to stay in the
Yeah.
joy.
Oh yeah.
I don't do any of it now because I beat myself up. I sold everything and I moved down here to Pennsylvania, and I have been just working on the show, trying to get people like you out to as many people as we can get it out there to.
Awesome.
Yep.
And we've been doing that. Mama D and I have been doing that together for like almost 9 years now.
I think so.
That's incredible. So you were some of the early podcasts on the air then back then. That's amazing.
Everyone has one now.
Yeah.
We had one
God,
before it, and I had one before it. With my old partner was a psychic. And I do paranormal.
Right.
So I do paranormal investigating and such. So I would talk about paranormal, and he would talk about psychic stuff. But we had we had our guests come on and whatnot. He was a little abrasive at times.
You're being nice.
Yeah, that was the nice one.
That's good. That's awesome.
But I mean, it goes back far, and there weren't that many podcasters out there, but now, there's
I've been doing this for 30 years, and it'll be 30 years in about another 3 weeks. So
Wow.
It's and back then we didn't even have social media back then. We had chat rooms, we had message boards.
The chat rooms, yes.
Yeah, the old chat rooms. That was the precursor to social media.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had DTM Wicked Radio, and our producers, and set times and dial in, all those kind of fun things. And now we can just hit a button and go. We can
hit a button, yeah.
Start when we want and end when we want. And I like that very much.
Yeah, exactly.
Some cool stuff. We can put up all kinds of things like this. Actually,
I love it.
Put up. I made a little QR code. So
that's perfect.
This right here, people. You can go right to Steve's website.
That's me. No, that's me.
Opposite world here. Opposite.
I'm up here somewhere.
Hi, Jan.
And I put the links for his website in the chat. So go check it out if you're not.
Perfect.
You just got to click on it and go.
I'll tell you a secret about the site. We have something there called the library. And the library is a lot of my past events that I've done, usually about an hour and 15 minutes, something of that nature. All sorts of topics and so forth. I think there's like 40 different classes in this library. We typically let people in for $44 a month, but your subscribers can get in for a month free. And the way they do that is to go to the very bottom of the page. You'll see the social media things. You'll see Facebook. You'll see X. Well, we don't have an X. If you click on that X, it'll take you to where you can get the 1 month free in the library. Okay. So there's kind of a secret you can use if you want to find out more about our stuff. We have a free backstage pass that you can go in and get all of our free stuff with. Of course,
God.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that we do on the website. We do every month we do a question and answer where people can send in questions, and I answer them in live channel. So the group actually answers them. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it.
How do you connect? Like if we're saying just having a conversation now, do you have to connect to the group, or is the group always with you? And it kind of goes, hey, I want to talk.
Would you like me to do a brief channel?
No. Well, if yes.
Yes.
Give me just a moment to clear.
Okay.
Greetings, dear ones. We join you with such joy, for it has been a long time since we have seen you. You see, there is a family reunion going on. It's been amazing what's taking place. You are connecting people all over the globe in places and ways that you have done many lifetimes ago, which is why we call it a family reunion. It's part of what motivates the both of you. I'm glad you found each other to be able to connect. We find it fascinating and have called you spiritual family. However, we tell you in the last lifetime, the roles were somewhat reversed. So we find this interesting. It's a fascinating way to play out the game of pretending to be a human. You have come a very long way in a very short time. You're at times of change on this planet. It has been rather difficult for many people because humans resist change naturally. It's part of the comfort zone of where you're at. And we see that. But you've also signed up to be there at a time of massive change. You're moving very quickly from the third dimensional reality all the way through the fourth into the fifth dimension. You've already moved. The challenge about it is that you're so accustomed to the third dimension, you keep creating the third dimension inside the fifth dimension. So the truth is you're working toward anchoring more of this reality in a higher space. And we find it fascinating. You've done much. There's many things coming together for all of you. You're at the right time in the right place. You've worked very hard to be here. We're very proud to tell you, well done. Well done indeed. With that, we leave you for now.
Thank you.
That you're always there.
Thank you so much. I have chills, full body chills going on.
Yes, Pavel.
I really do. Now, speaking that way, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
You need a drink?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do too. I do have full body chills. But speaking that way, like this multi-dimensionality and multi-lifetimes and things like that. Now, I've always said I'm an old soul. Mama D is definitely an old soul.
Yes.
And you talk about last timers as well. Like, I feel like I am on my last life.
Both of you were last timers last time. You're here this time, which is part of the reason it's a little strenuous to be here, because you had to lower your vibration to be here. So that is also, as always, a little painful, a little bit difficult. And you can look around and say, why isn't the universe supporting me? I'm doing what I came to do. And it's frustrating sometimes, but that's
very frustrating.
Yes, very.
That's kind of what it looks like. And
right.
And now thank you for doing it.
As we do what we can. You do talk about all of this stuff in this book. Now, this book is not that huge. You would think that how much information and what you talk about, that this page would be about 400 pages. This book would be 400, but it's not. It's only like 230 so pages, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in those pages, there's the real book.
This is the book you'll be getting in the mail tomorrow. Yes.
And signed.
Yes, of course, signed. You're right. 232. Yeah, 220, something like that. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
it's small.
It is so packed and so amazing. And like I was saying, okay. Let's talk about this multi-dimensionality and simultaneous lifetimes, things like that. Like what goes on, at the same time. How come, can they cross over? Like, I know that I see things. I'll see things from way back. I'll see things in the future, quickly, and it's like, is that what's happening? Is it like those timelines are crossing? Is it like that I walk over a ley line? I mean, what is going on, that these things happen?
Well, kind of all of the above in some ways. There's a lot of things happening. Let me describe how the group describes multidimensionality, so we kind of understand what it's like. They basically say that on planet Earth, perfection is not allowed. So we're not allowed to be perfect. We try. We're always trying to better ourselves, but perfection is not allowed. So everything we see here is imperfect in some way. So with that, we have this white light coming from home. It's our spirit. Our spirit is perfect. It's complete white light. It's perfect. It hits this crystal. This crystal we call the higher self. The crystal acts kind of like a prism and divides this white light up into these different colors. There's 11 of them, plus the crystal in the middle makes a group of 12. Now in there, you've got red is 32 years old, has 2.3 children, a cat and a dog. Over here, blue is single, still, they're all the same age because they had to be born and die at the same time. But the fascinating part is they were learning different lessons, making different choices. So the spirit is having much larger experience than just you. It's a huge experience. And the interesting part is, as we're evolving, which is what we talked about with the fifth dimensional stuff, we're starting to see into our other dimensions, which is exactly what you just said, Gina.
Mm.
That's exactly what's happening, especially out of the peripheral vision. We're starting to see shadow figures sometimes, other things that we turn and look and they aren't there, or they're different than how we perceive them.
Right.
A lot of stuff starting to come through.
Right. Yeah. I think the more you work in the field, the more it comes in, the more they're comfortable with showing themselves, whether it's a spirit. But some of the things I see are not spirits. You know what I mean? It's like a time, or dreams. Now you talk about that too, in the dream states.
I do actually think that a lot of what we call time travel is going to be very possible, also because of this multidimensional thing that we're discovering. So a lot of these things are going to be opening up very quickly, and we're going to have to kind of rebalance this. We're not used to growing this fast in any area, except technology. Technology seems to be doing it. That seems to be, and we got a lot more coming with technology, so that'll be crazy.
Oh God, yes.
Technology is very good. We have a vortex ghost gear. We do that technology to communicate with spirits. That works very well. And,
awesome. No, I have to check that out. I hadn't seen that. I heard about it, but I haven't actually seen it. It's on your channel.
It's yeah. As a matter of fact, I have here. This I just changed.
Yeah.
That right there is a vortex ghost gear.
Cool.
And what we do is, let's see, do I have a thing up here with all our ads? We actually made this. Yeah. We made a hands-free, right? Spirit does this Ouija board. You don't touch it.
Oh,
cool. Yeah. But we have a piece of equipment for everything. I don't know if I have an ad up here.
You used to.
Yeah, I used to. Oh, I know I have ads.
Oh,
but
that's my
Ghost Care. So me, Bob, these are all the things we do. We had Ghost Detectives TV.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes.
Ghostly excursions. But I do have ads, but they're kind of long, so I don't want to really play those. But we have stuff for everything. Like if I'm going to put that's your code back up there. We have a dome. The dome is for manifestation. It's like when they say if a spirit's going to manifest, it makes static electricity. So that's what it's a static dome. It's a static, So we have, when they say there's footprints, we have something that does vibrations. That's our geophone. We have a piece of equipment for all the things that's going to happen. We just came up with a new thing called the Nexus, which is a yes/no device, which can either be like a motion or EVP. So you can turn on motion sensors, or you can turn on like microphones. So if they're actually saying yes or no, and the lights will turn on yes or no. So that's a new thing. We also have like a V-pod, which is like a proximity meter. So the spirit will actually have to come in and touch things. We make cats and dogs. Okay, realistic looking cats and dogs. So the spirits will pet them. Children spirits.
Interesting.
Spirits, all those.
That's fascinating.
They will pet them. They work every time. We have like plenty of pups in the kennel and plenty of kitties in the litter, to choose from. So and there's a lot more. There's a lot more in Vortex, but technology plays a big role.
And technology is about to change our world again. I mean, all three of us remember times before the cell phone. Well, it's going to get a lot worse very quickly with AI. AI is just opening the door. You've got quantum computing right behind it. You've got ternary computing, which is going to change everything very quickly. It's basically taking the binary out of our computing and using a 3-sided thing instead of a 2. amplifies everything like a million times. So we've got all these things that are going to basically change our world. The group says we need to prepare for a time of no more secrets, because a lot.
I would like that.
I like that. Yeah,
that's what they're telling us. They're saying, scary for a lot of people because the corporations, everything else. When we have that kind of technology, we'll be able to find out a lot of things very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to see things.
Wish we had it right now for certain someone.
Me too. Yeah. Gee, who are you talking? Yes.
She's talking about me again, with my red hair and my temper.
Just think cheese doodles.
Perfect.
But anyway, getting back on track. Shiny, think what? We'll just show this.
Squirrel moment.
Oh, good. Okay, so I do have a list of questions, so I keep looking at to referring back to them. But now people will say, these things are happening to them and whatever. Now, how would you know it's multidimensionality as opposed to like a spirit visit or something like that? Like, how would you explain that to, say, one of the clients that set up a private session with you? How would you?
Well, it's quite often that multidimensionality is experienced in different ways. One of the ways that most people experience their own other dimensions is in a dream state. Mm-hmm. They'll fall into a severe dream state and they'll have a dream where they're being called by a different name. They have a different partner. They have different job. They're a different person, but it's them. And that is actually what a multidimensionality feels like. That's exactly what it feels like. And it's really entering our world in a lot of ways. You've probably heard about this thing that's taking over the internet called the Mandela effect.
Oh, well, yeah.
The Mandela effect is a direct result of multidimensional walls thinning. Because now we're remembering things that were different over here than they were here, and we're not quite sure which one happened in our reality or which one we just thought about. But we're seeing a lot.
Yeah, they were saying that stuff like Bernstein Bears or Berenstain Bears,
or Coca-Cola with the dash up here. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Even like the Queen song, we had a champion. Yeah. It's the last line. A member of our Ghost Detectives group, Frank, he talks about that a lot, and he has got the long list of those things that how do you remember it, and it's just that boggles my mind every time you hear it, but it's true.
But it's true. And we're starting to see it. And for many of us, this is our truth. And for other people, and usually it's not a huge deal. It's just we remember things differently. Mm-hmm. I really do believe that is evidence of these walls of dimension thinning. We're seeing a lot of things that are happening that we never thought would happen. We're seeing a lot of things take place, I hate to bring it into a negative of any kind, but the reality is we've had a history of having the Shiva come in and tear everything down so the Shakti can rebuild it anew. That's kind of the history of how we evolve, and it seems to be what's happening. Our systems are liable to have a great deal of difficulty, whether it be political systems, whether it be monetary systems, all kinds of systems. They tend to evolve the slowest and sometimes show cracks. So that's kind of what we're trying to avoid right now, really, more than anything else, is try to evolve, intact as much as possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Right now, it's so crazy because I always say, like, in the real world, there are horrible things going on, but then there's our world where great things are happening.
Exactly.
And people connecting on so many multi levels. That's what I think that veil is thinning, because, all the people and their gifts, all their different, unique, beautiful, wonderful gifts are joining together. And I absolutely love that. So this newest Mandela effect involves Yosemite Sam. So what is
they do with Sam?
What?
I said, what they do with Sam?
I know. What is the what are they saying? Because I know Yosemite Sam is the.
I don't know. I didn't see
exactly.
that part about Yosemite Sam.
I know. Too darn.
Well, yours girl will
big
type it in.
yeah. I don't know.
That's like the Walt Disney thing with Tinkerbell, ding, at the end of the show, at the end of the beginning.
Yeah,
I remember that. And I was like, people,
Yeah.
yep. And people are going, no, like, look at it now. It's like, no. I saw that. We used to sit there every Sunday in our house, and that's what we would watch as a family.
It's almost like all of humanity has shifted a little bit. That's what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Like those things stayed the same, and we changed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny. You said something earlier about when we're having dreams and we're being called by another name.
Right.
I had that happen a couple of days ago. I haven't been sleeping well. And for me, I don't remember dreams, but there was something that was going on, and I was having a dream, and somebody called me by another name, and I turned and answered to it. And when I woke up, I don't remember the name, but I still remember the feeling of knowing who that person was and knowing who I was supposed to be. So it's interesting. She says his catchphrase was "Tar Nation."
What?
Never happened. Never? How rude. It was always.
What incarnation?
Yeah,
what incarnation? Yeah.
Yeah. But now I can't remember. I just can't. I remember the guns, shooting the guns. When you say what incarnation, I think of the other one, the big bird guy. What's his name?
I'm not sure.
Oh, the oh my
Yosemite Sam.
Not Yosemite Sam, the bird, the big chicken guy.
Oh.
I think he would say what incarnation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Cleghorn.
Yes, Cleghorn.
I told you, you are not going to know where this show is going to go.
You're channeling it. That's what's happening. You're channeling it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so to get back in again, I just keep reeling back in. Now you were talking about different things about like what happens when we die, and like a lot of people are afraid of death.
Yeah.
I am definitely not. I actually did. I came right to that brink and came back. I accidentally overdosed on medication because I broke my collarbone and I kept taking pills because it was like the most painful thing I've ever. Yeah, foghorn, leghorn, and a little chicken hawk. Right, that's who I was talking about. Yep. That's so funny. Don't bring that up. But yeah, I went to that brink, came back. Since when I did that, when that happened, is when I have this communication with spirits. Like it's tones and 3 tones. Like a low tone, bad, medium, and high tones. Great. Medium's like a regular spirit, higher tone, more like angelic, spirit guide type things coming in, which are ringing really loudly right now. So I think they're here for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, they're basically, from my perspective, they're resetting your signature vibration so that you could come back into the body. Basically, that had to. Each of us have a signature vibration that's unique. It's almost like a tone, or it can be equated to a musical note or a tone or something of that nature. But they basically had to reset yours. I know nobody who has been through an NDE that was afraid of death anymore. Most people that have been sent back are angry. They're pissed off that they had to be
that they didn't get to stay.
Yeah, that they didn't get to stay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I mean, I actually brought myself back because I realized at the end that I was dying and I didn't want to die. So I was like trying to scream it, like trying to talk, and nothing was coming out.
Nothing coming out.
Yeah. The closer I got, I just screamed and it came out, and then I slammed back into my body, which was like, woof, it was just a whole different.
Well, and if you look at that from a multidimensional standpoint, you have 11 other yous, or you have 10 other yous. So there's 11 of you. You all are born at the same instant, and you have to die at the same instant. So over here, you're dying. Over here, this person's just been hit by a car. this person over here has been dying for 6 months and can't let go. So they're all trying to organize it. So, sometimes when somebody goes into a stasis where they're being held, whether it be, just a timeout, or whether it be, whatever, it's usually because the other ones haven't lined up. And usually if the person who's having a near-death experience is met by somebody, they explain, no, it's not time. They always say, it's not time. It's not your time.
Right. It's not your time now.
Yeah. You need to go back. Yeah. So that's basically the explanation the group gave for that. Fascinating stuff. Yeah.
It is all fascinating stuff. And then we did like aura regressions, things with some people, and found out some really awesome stuff, awesome information, been to some really cool places. I've seen stuff I know I wasn't supposed to be seeing, wasn't going to be seeing, that kind of stuff. Very neat. All right, what is this girl here that keeps posting? What is your name?
Yours, girl, 55.
Yeah, what is your name? So we can call you something besides that. But she says, after NDE, near-death experience, I don't fear death, but the process is difficult.
Yes, it is. Yeah, leaving is not easy. Letting go of the body is not easy. You not only emotionally have to let go of everything.
Yeah, stuff.
We do an exercise. It's actually in the book Crossing the Veil, about letting go and what that really means. And it's an exercise about somebody who's dying of AIDS, and they're basically, time goes on, they have to come up with a different process. They have to, these things, and their friends stop visiting them because, time gets old after a while, and really talks about all the things they have to let go. They not only have to let go of all their possessions, but they have to let go of all their relationships. You basically have to let go of everything that you've been trying to hang on to. And that is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when this happened to me, my children were small, little. So that's why I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fear death. I don't fear the leaving part. Okay, I'm ready. What I fear is, what am I leaving behind? Are they going to be able to take care of themselves? Are they going to be able to take care of each other?
I'm a nurturer. That's the same thing that happens with me. I try to make sure everybody's taken care of, even if
yeah. Well, yeah, me too.
Well, my dad did an interesting thing here. I got another dad story to tell you since you brought him up.
Yeah.
He told us for years. We said, Dad, you're getting older. At some point you're going to die. What do we do with all your stuff? Do you have a will? Do you want, you can just tell us what you want to do with all this stuff that you've collected. And he had a wife at the time. So it was an interesting, he says, don't worry about it. He says, I'm going to die one of two ways. I'm either going to die in bed with a beautiful blonde, or I'm going to die on the tennis court after winning a match point.
That's the story in this book.
Interesting point. He did. He was married to a very attractive blonde at the time, and he died with another blonde as his partner on the tennis court after winning a match point. He high-fived her, put his racket on the ground, and laid down and died. That's exactly what happened.
That is a good way to go.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the story that you were talking about that I told. Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one. But I like the one that you said, so I was going to just kind of wait and see if there was a to that point. And
I got lots of dad stories. He was my energy role model, so yeah, he was a crack up.
Well, he started everything for you. He sort of opened that door.
Yeah, he and my mom started. They're going their own directions, and many times just doing the same thing that I get to do today. I get to finish up. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and I have no doubt that they're on the other side of the veil helping.
Oh yeah,
we do that all the time. My wife did that. It so happens she died 4.5 years ago, and for the last 3 years I have been in love.
Oh,
I never thought that was going to happen. It was somebody we both knew, and we have no doubt that Barbara was behind this.
Oh yeah,
that she's on the other side of the veil, going, "You're not going to be alone. We talked about this. That's not going to happen. We're going to do this." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after my husband died, I said, "That's it. I'm done." because I had a husband before that. We got divorced. Want to hear a funny story? All right. My birthday, his birthday, our anniversary, January 9th. Our first daughter was born July 9th. Our second daughter was born October 9th. We got divorced after 9 years.
And of course, in numerology, 9 is completion.
Yep.
Talk about being a last timer.
Right. And then I got remarried, and he passed away. And now I just got engaged. And
congratulations!
Thank you. We
That's
just
marvelous.
Like as I said, I'm done. But my late husband had other ideas.
That's good. That's great. Now we talked about that. We used to, like I said, we used to give these seminars in different countries all over the world, transition team seminars about people dying, about how important it is to give them the right framework, to get rid of the fear. When we have fear in trying to cross the veil, that ultimately results in negative imprints being left behind. Sometimes those are the origins of ghosts. Sometimes there's other things that end up, being a result of that. We can resolve that stuff before we die if we just educate. It's just about education, losing the fear more than anything else.
Do you have any opinion on? I've heard of this before, and it's something that interests me, but a lot of people think I'm nuts. Death doula.
The which?
Death doula.
Death doulas are wonderful. I know 3 of them. I've interviewed one on my podcast recently. They're actually they do the work that I talked about in Crossing the Veil. The way that we can look at this is that when we leave, we have things that aren't finished. We have things that we want to complete that we didn't finish up. So we kind of leave those in the veil, they say. When you come back in for another incarnation, guess what? You got to pick all that stuff back up. So it's kind of, you pick up where you want to leave off and so forth. So you kind of pick that stuff back up. So we're always evolving. We have choice. We can go the other way if we want, but we don't. We're, as spirits, we make very wise decisions. But yeah, that's kind of how it seems to work sometimes. So we keep working on the same thing. And the 12 primary life lessons, they're simple things. They're not complicated. It's like truth, trust, adaptation, acceptance. Probably the most complicated one is definition, which simply means a person's born with very sensitive energy, very strong energy, and very weak boundaries. They don't know how to say no and end up calling in master manipulator after master manipulator over and again. So that's probably the most difficult to understand, but they're all very basic things. And when we see them, we all go, yeah, okay, now I understand somebody a little better. And that was one of the reasons I wanted us to write that book.
Heather's got it.
It's a nice little ditty there. You want to read it, Mama?
Yeah. Heather says, my cousin Joe was a state trooper. Yes, uniforms. Who was partners with this other man whom I also knew for 30 plus years. My cousin Joe passed, and I ended being with his partner in the state police in 2019. I always say that it was Joe that brought us together. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. That is
so. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Most of the time we don't recognize it. Yeah. Yeah.
And Lisa said she's not coming back. I do. I want to come back because I know that I'm not finished helping. It's not that I'm going to be learning more, but what I do learn is because it needs to be used to help people. That's what I do now. That's why I am Mama D, because I'm always helping. I help other people and forget about myself. So it's just I like that. That's who I am. People will be like, why are you always so happy? You don't want to see me when I'm not happy. Trust me, I disappear. I'm a redhead and a scorpion. You don't want to see me when I'm not happy.
I've only seen it a couple times, and you don't want to see that.
It's not pretty.
But I want to go on to the next.
There's more. Obviously, we're in a vibrational range where we're learning things. We see all this energy about ETs, about other things that are taking place. Of course, all this energy on the I3 Atlas, all the things that are going on from that perspective. The group says there's not very much new here. They've been with us forever. And furthermore, most of them are not travelers. Most of them know how to shift dimensions between one dimension to the other. The group calls them EDs instead of ETs for extra dimensional.
Yeah.
So basically they know how to shift dimensions, and they can appear and they can violate our rules of physics and things of that nature and get away with it. So yeah.
Hi Bob. I took my old partner, into this house, and because there was some things going on in it, and he's looking around. Now he's psychic, and he's looking, and he's like shaking his head. I'm like, what? He's like, I see people over here. I see people over here. I see people over here. They're all different time periods, and neither one of them know that the other ones are there.
They're there, I think. Yeah. Inhabiting the same space. Yeah.
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 And I mean, that was the first time I ever heard him say anything like that, and I had worked with him for years, so that was like the first time that I was like, then
some things make sense,
and you start thinking about things, and like, oh, this makes sense, and that makes sense, and this makes sense.
Yeah, now start to come together and start to exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Carmen in the chat says, I'm uncertain of what I want to do, whether she wants to come back or not. She says, can I just haunt people? Sure.
Why not?
Just stay out of the bathrooms. That's all.
Yeah.
Is there a rule about the bathrooms that I didn't know about?
No, I have a very dear friend in the UK, and he is a medium, and he met his most recent, it's been a few years, 10 more, guide when he was in the shower. And he's like in the shower by himself. Eric was in the shower by himself, just and all of a sudden he hears this deep male voice talking to him, and he's like, okay, this is not. Could you go wait outside so I can shower? I was like,
can you wait outside? That's hilarious.
I would have a heart attack.
Mom would go, Tina, what are you doing?
I know. He would think it's me. Honest to God, but he, no, he's got a big phobia. Especially if it was a woman's voice, maybe he would listen.
Yeah. Could you wait outside? That's hilarious. That's magical. The group said something recently about that. We had a seminar where we did a reverse aging process. Where basically the group said, all right, we're going to have to slow these bodies down. These bodies were originally made for 300 years. They're not lasting that long. We need to fix that. So they started introducing some things about reverse aging and so forth. And they said one of the things that they would offer in this particular seminar is that up to 72 hours later, 2 weeks later, they would actually visit you personally and help you take that next step if you were having difficulty. And they would do it around water. Whether you were in the bath, whether you were in the swimming pool, whether you were in the shower, that's when they wanted to do it. So that was an interesting thing you said about that, because it does happen a lot in the shower. Yeah. There's a grounding process.
Exactly, and water is cleansing. So
in the shower, and the ocean is really good because it's like the waves that come in, you can bring in the good energy, and the waves that go out, you can get rid of the bad energy, and there's lots of ways to ground, but water is one of the best. Nature, water, bare feet on the ground. All that.
They gave something recently. I think it was in the next class. It was in a different class where they said about grounding. They said an easy way that you can help ground is by putting salt on the outside of your body. In other words, salt water, salt baths, salt scrubs, anything of that nature. At the same time, if you can decrease the amount of salt you eat, you actually change the electrical connection between your physical body and the ethereal bodies all around you, and it kind of become more grounded in a lot of ways. So they had all kinds of interesting suggestions about things like that.
There's so much. And then the use of crystals and this and that, sounds and vision and, drawing symbols, things like that. I mean, it's like the difference between the psychic that can channel and the psychic that can hear and the psychic that can smell and the psychic, you know what I mean? Like everyone has their gifts. What
Well,
works
that's true.
for you is what works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Is be open-minded about all of them.
Well, and everybody channels. We just call it different things.
Yep.
Different people have different gifts. They call them different things. The artist calls it one thing. The musician calls it something else.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think we all get it. We're actually doing 2 different channeling classes coming up right away. One of them is online on our website, and another one that I'm doing is actually in Russia, in Moscow.
Russia.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to reach it from here because you actually have to be in Moscow. Our systems are so different with all the stuff,
Sure.
all the
I'm not afraid to go to Russia.
Yeah, I am concerned about going to Russia, and I'm not going to Russia right away. I'm actually doing an online seminar in Russia.
Okay.
But I've been there many times, and those people are wonderful. That's a whole part of the family that we're missing because of the stupid politics that we're dealing with on this planet.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm trying to reconnect to a lot of those people and the people that we used to know and so forth. And we have a really good turnout. We're almost at like 150 people online already. So it was a good turnout for the first time I've done anything there for a while. But anyway, we're trying to open up a lot of the communication. So when it comes down to it, we're all in the same boat. We just, we speak different languages, we have different customs, we wear different clothes, and we're all the same. We're all looking for the same things. It's amazing. Yeah.
Always
It
has.
is. It is.
It's and it's only the few that start all this conflict, not the majority. It's the minority.
I totally agree.
Ones that are leading, which is
totally agree.
Not good. But speaking of this kind of thing, you talk about energy stamps throughout. And first of all, explain what an energy stamp is. Why is that so important to us? What does that do to us? And what lessons can we learn from them?
The easiest illustration I can give you is a torus around your physical body. So you've got this thing that comes up like this and comes together at the heart chakra and then comes back out. Not only does it turn this direction, but it also turns in this direction or this direction. And that torus is an energy cycle. It's actually around everything on the planet that has vibrations, which is pretty much everything. Yeah, but when we're in fear, when we have something dense, it's a very small torus. It's very tight around there. When we have a lot of love in our heart and a lot of energy, it becomes very big. So basically we're dealing with that, but we also have stamps on the outside of that. These are things that can happen to us. We think about trauma as being a stamp. It is an energy stamp, a trauma. But we also have positive energy stamps. We have things that happen to us that help us decide where we're going, who we want to be, how we want to react in the world, what we want to bring to the place. So we've got all sorts of stamps that hit the outside of this torus, and we decide which ones add to us and which ones we want to release and which ones we no longer need. Kind of a challenge sometimes, but that's basically what they talk about with energy stamps. An energy matrix is another way that we also work with life lessons. So an energy stamp would simply mean if you're working with a trust life lesson, you'd have a contract for somebody to do something to make you not trust yourself. You may have a parent that abandons you. You may have a parent that abuses you. Now, all those types of things basically make you not trust yourself. So that's the kind of setup that would be in order for those types of things. And then other things, we set up to depending on how we're going to work with it and what we're going to learn from it. But we do set them up.
Yeah, you go through a lot of different things here, and and some of them, some of them you can work with, and some of them you just need to, how you say, master them. So you
master the matrix, right?
Yeah. So when you have your art of mastery, it's pretty intense. I mean, can you hold up a copy of your book?
Sure. Yeah. You
My
bet.
It looks prettier than
That's my book
There you
right
go.
there.
Well, it's a thin book. It's like you said. It's only a couple hundred pages, but that's it. That's
With
the book.
wisdom. It
Yeah.
really is. And what you talk about in the beginning and then the end, where you're putting all the clients that you've worked with. Now, a lot of times when people put in their books their client stories, sometimes I read them and I forget. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't like click for me. Every one of these people's
Good.
stories that you put in here, including your own, was quite amazing. And I'm not even going to go into it because I really want people to get this book. I really want them to read it because it's really that good.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I would love to take credit for that, but that is the group. That is what the group does. They do it through our writings. They've done it through the channels and so forth. And like I said, you could not have convinced me that I would write 8 books. That just wasn't part of my growing up ever. But here I am. So, they had other ideas.
yeah, for sure. Now you started talking about contracts and stuff. Can you just kind of go over like some examples of contracts, what they mean? How do we know we're in a contract? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have no clue.
You don't always know whether it was a spiritual contract or something that just came together. Contracts are completions. So in other words, when we leave, when we die, we go through. We're the ones that do it. We have an exercise we're going to be doing in Holland in a couple of weeks where we give everybody a little 3x5 cards and we want them to write the 5 most important things that happened to them during their life and put it down on the card. And then everybody's going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, am I done with this or do I need to bring this back into my new life? And basically, because that's what we do when we die. And if we're bringing it back in our new life, we make contracts, we make things of that nature. Okay. Sometimes we think of contracts as good things. Sometimes they're negative things. Sometimes we need to hit a brick wall. So we learn something after we've tried to do it 4 or 5 different lifetimes and haven't been able to do it.
Sure.
Yeah. So sometimes we set those up. The contracts are, they give us the illustration of the big table. They said at home, there's this huge table. And one of the entities of the group is called M. He's responsible for the table. If things get too serious around the discussions at the table, he laughs. He lets out a belly laugh. Everybody stops what they're doing and starts over again. Yeah. But basically, this is where you make your contracts. Before you come in, you set up all your people around this huge table. And you look at this girl over here and you say, will you be my first lover in high school? And she says, yes, I'd be glad to do that. And you said, and you say, and this other girl over here, will you be my business partner? And will you love me enough to steal all the money and disappear to Mexico and just?
So you can learn that lesson.
Yeah. And she says, I really wanted to be a good guy with you this time, but I love you enough. I'll play the bad guy. I'll do it one more time. And they make agreements. And then we ask George over here, George, will you be with me in high school? And will you steal my girlfriend so that I can learn nothing? All the things that we set up, we generally set up in that way in different things. But the contracts are only to come together. That's it. Right. We're on the planet of free choice. So if we have a contract to meet somebody to try and further a relationship or try to complete something in a relationship, it just means you're going to meet. It doesn't mean you're going to walk down the forever aisle together. It means you're going to meet. You're going to have another chance at working out the problems. That's what it means. So those are the contracts.
And there's like that one's like, like Mama D and I, you know what I mean? Like just, and then there's people, like I've known from high school, I consider family. No matter, I haven't seen them for years. They're still you'd start talking to them. It's like you never left.
That's right.
And that's just the way it is. Heather says, I love Steve's hat.
Thank you.
And she even put up a little emoji with the hat. I love it. See, he seems that he has the aura around him that makes you just want to listen to what he's saying.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much.
That's right.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Steve. I'm not sure. It's something that keeps popping back into my head every so often. So I was like, okay, we'll ask. I'm the type of person who does not remember my childhood. There are certain things I might remember, and I sit there and I go, is that for real, or is that, did I make that up? But in majority, I don't remember my childhood. I remember things about high school, certain things that kind of sort of stand out when I sold the school keys, But there's so much that's not in there. Not that I've forgotten. It's just, I've forgotten. It's just I never remember what happened.
Well, I know why I don't remember things.
Well, there's several different things that they're actually showing me that are possibilities. We're going to kind of, because I'll talk to you, Mama, in particular, but at the same time, I want to be able to address everybody at the same time. So there's several potentials behind that. One of them, of course, is an ET abduction. Many times that is a trauma that you don't remember, that is planted behind the scenes, or even to experience something where basically your memory has been removed in some way. That happens to more people than we know about. So that is one of the traumas that can be lying behind what you're talking about. Another one is simply a trauma, something you don't remember. Typically, when people blank out parts of their childhood, there is something there that they have a difficulty either accepting or working with in some way. You may not even know about it. I mean, look, we've talked for what, an hour already? You're a very brave lady. There's not a lot that you're going to let slip past you. That's the reality. You'll speak your mind. You'll talk to them, but if you don't know it, it'll affect you in different ways. And I think that might be what is actually happening to you personally. I think you have a trauma back there that you haven't realized or haven't understood. Is it important?
Nah.
Maybe.
Not right now. It doesn't drive me crazy. I drive other people crazy, but it doesn't drive me crazy. It's just a curiosity every so often when people can remember things in their childhood. And the only way I'll remember it if somebody brings up something. It's like
things are brought up. I don't, but mine was, hey, sex, drugs, rock and roll. That's what we were. I don't remember. That's why.
I was there.
Yeah. You said, you're a friend of Bill. I was a friend of Bill. I love the 12 steps. You love the 12 steps. The 12 steps are fantastic, and everyone in the world should, in fact, run their lives using those 12 steps. We talk about things being taught in school. Stuff like that should be taught in school. They are life lessons, not unlike your lessons that you're putting in your book here. You know what I mean?
That's one of the lessons.
Yeah.
So it's called being. That's one of the lessons. That is one of the lessons that typically shows up in addictions. That's correct. It is absolutely right.
And it's powerful. Palpable powerful.
There's so many things that we can use to improve our lives, to take another step up. There's a lot of tools around. Spiritual psychology is one of them. The 12 primary life lessons, or again, just a guide, a different view. Nothing's going to work for everybody. So we try to offer as many different potentials as possible. This whole thing about addictions, we need to rethink this all over. The 12 steps have worked really well, but not for everybody. There's a lot of people that can't take themselves to a meeting. They can't do it. I became very active my first 15 years in AA. And then when the group started coming in, I had to kind of step back.
Yeah.
They were talking about empowerment, and here I am reliving all this old stuff. So there was a conflict that I had.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for AA.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I absolutely wouldn't.
Plain and simple. It was a thing. So I do think we have some work to do there. In fact, I'm interviewing some people that we hope to come up with some answers, or at least some ideas. That's really all we're trying to do, is come up with some general ideas of how we can extend this and how we can make this available to a lot more people.
You just got to change a few of the wordings. You know what I mean? But it's
totally agree.
Concept of everything. It's accountability. It's, taking action. It's taking responsibility. It's,
making repairs, old 4-step. Yes, absolutely.
All of those things, and then the big thing like gratitude is huge. That's a big part of everything. That's huge. That's huge in everyday life. So this is preached in many metaphysical aspects.
Yes, it is. It
of
is.
everything, right? So I mean, it's like, yeah. And then there was Bill, like how many years ago, before all that stuff started coming out, right? Doing just that and putting a whole, group of people and fixing all their lives.
To me, it was channeled. That we're doing a class on channeling coming up. It's a simple 2-day class because we've done so many classes on channeling. Everybody can channel in different ways and so forth. We're doing a class that shows what the group looks for when they're trying to channel from the other side. So we're trying to do it a little bit differently. And in that area, one of the things we're literally talking about is this whole process. Yeah, exactly. And to try and find, where we're at with the process, to be able to connect in that way. And people channeled in different ways. We've got a lot of other things that we're trying to do with it, but we have to give ourselves permission to do it. We have to trust ourselves.
People are on different, different levels. Who's ready for what? You know what I mean? Exactly. So someone might not be ready for this right now, but next week, next month, 3 months, they'll be ready. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, where are you in your journey? Where do you want to be in your journey?
Exactly.
Where you really want to be is after you read this book, then figure out where you want to be in your journey. And yes, there's all the links Mama D just put up there.
So for Amazon.
Yes, it is. And Barnes and Noble.
Oh, good.
And all books are sold.
It's even in Amazon.ca.
It is on Amazon.ca. It's on 21 of the Amazons.
Oh, nice.
So it's sold all over the place. I know because I get these little checks. So they're Amazon.nz will send me a check for $3, and and they all come. They all come together. It's kind of amazing. So
yeah, that's funny. That's
funny stuff. Yeah, wonderful stuff. We live in great times. We really do. Look at what we're doing. We're all over the world here.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Yet we're bringing hearts together. We're connecting in magical ways. None of this was possible. I mean, we used to do it in other ways, but none of this was possible even just a few short years ago.
Yeah.
So it's magical.
Also, you never know when it's going to hit you, when it's going to open you back up. Like I know as a kid, I was spiritually connected. I was Catholic and I went to Catholic school and I went to church. And I remember on our catechism days, the priest would have to come over and physically touch me to wake me up out of my dreaming with the angels. Yeah. Like, smack, Darlene, And I know I had as a teenager, late teens, early 20s, I was given a deck of tarot cards. I don't know who gave them to me and I don't know where they went. But I know now that I don't read tarot the way everybody tarot card readers read. We are into the oracle cards, and I work with the oracle cards because that's the way I work.
Right.
And it's like I didn't start back as Mama D was created when I opened back up. I went to a spiritual store. My sister brought me there, and it just sort of like you walked into this place and you did not hit a wall. You hit a hug. And that's what I always say. When you walk into a store, if you want to know if this is the store for you, if this is the metaphysical store for you, just walk in and just take 2 steps in, stand there and just wait for a minute and see what you feel. And this store, everybody who ever goes in, I say, just go in, take 2 steps in, tell me what you feel. And they say, it's like being hugged. I said, yeah. And that's what it is.
I went to one, and it was the adverse of that, and I turned around and walked out.
Yeah, because that wasn't the one.
I've seen that too. I've seen that too. I felt that, and especially a lot of big stores that they're very uncomfortable. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, the low tones come in, and you feel like you just.
Heather Lynn just bought your book.
Yeah.
There's a store in Encinitas, California. One of my favorite places. It's a crystal shop. It is world renowned for the crystals they carry. Fairly small shop. But if I go in there, I'll spend 3 hours in there. You can't get me out of there. It's
I
one of
know.
those places. It's one of those places, I don't go in there to talk spirituality. I don't tell them who I am. I don't, I just go in there to feel the energy. It's incredible.
God, yeah.
You're like, okay, this one. Yeah, I want this one. I want that
Exactly.
one.
Exactly. Well, here.
To me,
Okay. Here's one that traveled with me all around.
Oh, look at that beauty.
Yeah, wow. We used it as the staff of it was a staff of self-love. And basically I literally traveled all over the world with it. In another lifetime, it used to be a pool cue.
I played pool.
Nice.
I love it.
Anyway, we had a lot of stuff with this because people would basically decide their future, decide what the direction they were going. And then they had to walk down an angel walk, which is people on both sides with their eyes closed. A lot of tears, a lot of connections, but you would absolutely feel the connection and people would just hang on to this. It was just amazing. So
do you do stuff like that?
Well, they're tools, and there's no magic in the tools. The magic's in the people, but we have all these things that we can bring out to help people realize who they are. And,
well, I mean, crystals do have energies. I mean,
you bet they do.
Has their energy, so they are magic, but it's what it's used for, and
they can heal too. It's like you said, the group consistently reminds us that we are the highest vibration of the animal kingdom and that crystals are the highest vibration of the mineral kingdom. So we have not only a connection, but we have a responsibility that they help us do. They help heal us. They help us reset our signature vibration sometimes when we get out of whack, if we are open to it. And at the same time, we need to take care of planet Earth. That's kind of part of the exchange that happens in there. Right. That's a fascinating part.
When Mama D was talking about oracle cards, it was funny because it brought me back to the beginning of this interview when you were saying, like, when you first started doing your sessions with people and you kept saying the same thing over and over again. I mean, I put out like 10 decks. She might have 5 decks, and we're shuffling cards and shuffling cards and shuffling cards. And we might pick the same card, for our people, like the same card, the same card, the same card. It means something different for the next person, but it's still the same card, and, it's like, it just totally brought that right back to me. And I wanted to make sure that I said that, because I wanted to say that when you were
I saw it in your face. You were like, that's what I said. I was waiting for you to put your hand up.
I know. And then I forget.
Yeah, trust me, I got you. Okay, Heather Lane in the chat says, years ago, I used to hear chatter, but couldn't make out what they were saying. Now I'm actually hearing embodied voices. The other night in my bathroom, here I go to the bathroom again, I physically heard someone sigh. This was 2:00 in the morning and everyone else was asleep.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, if this is a spirit coming to see you, like at nighttime, they visit a lot of us sleeping because of the fact that at night, your mind is shut off from all your day-to-day, everyday tasks, mundane things where your brain is constantly this. At night, you don't have any of that. You're especially after your REM state, you're
coming out.
You're able to collect these messages. When you wake up in the morning, the dreams that you remember, those are messages. The dreams you don't are just dreams. So there's just distinct things. And but
that's a great way to put it. I just recently had an interview with probably the #1 dream lady in the UK. She wrote the Dream Encyclopedia.
Yeah, we did.
Teresa Chung.
Yeah, I've been on her show too.
Awesome. I'll be on her show. She's been on mine. Awesome lady. Talks about exactly this stuff and just incredible connections. The only thing the group has really talked about dreams is they said sometimes you have dreams for different purposes. Sometimes it's a prophetic dream or you need to know something coming. Sometimes it's an energy balancing dreams, which apparently I have from time to time. I didn't know it, but my partner tells me sometimes I wake up swinging or I wake up yelling or angry about something. And the group says it's just an energy balancing dream. You work all day in the light, making everything wonderful for people, doing everything else. Sometimes you need an energy balance. So you go into these difficult dreams at night sometimes. So
out of all the things in your book, when I said I didn't have the thing, these are the pages on those dreams. I printed these pages. I didn't print all the book. I did not do that. I mean, I only printed these pages. I printed the page that you wrote about intuition. I printed the table of contents and the 12 primary life lessons where they were just listed. But yeah, that's what I printed out because I thought this is fascinating.
I'm very embarrassed that you don't have a real book. I apologize for that. I'll blame it on Amazon, but I'll get you them right away.
It is not your fault, but because I'm always talking about the dreams, and everyone says, "Oh, they hold me down. They do this. They do that." It's like
there's all sorts of things you can interpret with them, and Teresa is just incredible with being able to. I mean, she's like me in many ways. She's just down to practical sense. You know, if this works for you, this makes sense. There's so many things you can do with this. There's just so many ways you can talk about it. So she's got incredible things.
Yeah, I've got her book up in here.
Yeah. I'll send you a book for there. I'll send you a couple. You bet.
Yeah, I want to get your whole 8 books.
I'll just take the PDF because everything crosses the border. It gets all crazy and extended duty taxes. So just shoot me the PDFs. I can read.
You got it. We can do that. We can do that. No problem.
So this one here. So what about nightmares that you remember? I had a dream someone came into the house and I stabbed them. It terrified me. Well, that could be. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like a past life thing.
Yes, exactly.
Memory.
It could be something replaying. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. And sometimes that'll really shake somebody up. But at the same time, they're able to resolve a few things. We have so many things that we're unaware of. We have these traumas that we are finding out how serious all these traumas affect us, but we don't always know where they come from. Just like you, Mama, you don't have a solid memory that you can say I had this happen to me or anything else. There are times we pick up traumas from generations past, and we work on Grandpa's problems that he didn't, he wasn't able to resolve. So there's all sorts of things we do in these ways. We actually did a 2-day seminar on generational healing of this nature, generational trauma, to be able to do it. But once you become aware of some of these things, you start to gain power over them. And that's the idea. Just knowledge is the first key.
Yeah. But now you talk about like soul family, and I think stuff like this happens, like your soul family is coming in. If you're dealing with something right now, like, I don't know if I would have if someone broke into my house, would I be able to protect myself? Would I be able to protect my kids? Would I be able to, my stuff, whatever. And then you get a dream like this that scares the blank out of you. Okay. But it's also telling you, you do. You will, and you would, and you could, and you would rise to the occasion, and you have this in you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's almost like you went through it in the dream and you got to the other side.
Right. So, you did it once, you can do it again,
So, exactly. Yeah. It takes just a tiny bit of the fear away from the whole process. So,
exactly.
So it's interesting how it works.
All of it is so super interesting. Let Mama going away.
No, because right now I'm being poked and shaken. Let's put it. I'm not alone. I just haven't figured out who and why.
Well, yeah, good.
Yeah,
there you go. And we're back.
There you go. And you're back.
Excellent.
Is she pretty?
Yes, she is. Absolutely. Magical.
Yes.
Thank you.
What are we doing? Oh, okay.
Well, somebody once said, "How is it that you can stay so upbeat?" I said, "Because I surround myself with people who are that way. And when they have a moment of like, ugh, people will message me and voice send me a rant. And just sort of to get it off. their chest. And I'm good with that because, see, I also work customer service. And I get in trouble because I spend too much time with.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably solve all the problems, don't you?
I do. I've actually had one of them customers reach out to me on Facebook, and all they knew was my first name was Darlene. I'm like, how many Darlenes are on Facebook? But it's just like I know this is what I'm here for, and I know that this is not the last lifetime that I'm going to do that. Does it get on my crazy side sometimes? Yes. You know, do I wish I could change it just for a moment? Heck no. You know, it's like, you know, people, I used to say as a younger person, which I'm old like right now, just figured out I'm actually 64 instead of 63. Like, good Lord, where'd I skip a year?
Well,
I did that one time. I lost a year.
She just had a birthday. So, you know,
yes.
She's only
happy
dead
birthday.
for a few days.
So I was like, boom, year went. But it's like, I don't, my brain just went on brain fart. I can tell people, and that includes my children, I can tell them, I sort of step back and I know that I can tell you this side of the fence or this side of the fence. I'm going to sit on top of it. I'm going to show you what I see on both sides, but I'm not going to choose for you. That is something that you have to do for yourself. You know, it's like when they say, tell me what to do. Well, this is what happens if you do this, and this is what happens if you do this. Now you decide, oh, tell me. No.
That's what we do in private sessions that I do. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They want to know which one's the best way to do it. Well, down here you're going to experience this, and you're going to love this and hate this, and down here you're going to hate this and love that. You know, you're going to have experiences. You're going to be fine. Which way's the best? Well, choose, flip a coin. Sometimes it comes down to that, really. So it's not a huge deal sometimes. But you have an energy of the teacher that you have always had in this lifetime. Have you ever taught professionally?
No.
Okay. Well, that is going to come out anywhere. You can be standing in line at Kmart and you will be teaching people. People will ask you questions. People behind you will start spilling their entire life to you because they trust you. You have this natural ability of being able to help people feel comfortable. That has a lot to do with who you are, what you came in to do, and the fact that you've carried this very high vibration with you. So even if you're not considered a teacher, that's who you are, my dear, and you've done a really good job with it.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled that you get to do this now too, because this reaches a lot more people. Awesome work.
I love how people try and put people into little boxes. Like, are you a healer? Are you a psychic? Are you a this? That? And because people have to have labels. And when there we go again. When I became who I became, when I became Mama D, I don't like boxes. You could never pin me down. It's like, can you tell? And they said, well, are you a psychic? No. Are you a medium? No. Are you a healer? Yes. Because I healed mind, body, and soul.
Sure.
You know, just listening. There are so many people out there who don't get heard. They be just like, blah, 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 blah. When that one person who used to send me a vent in the mornings, I would send back, okay, how are you feeling now? Feeling better? Just getting it off your chest. It's great to do it, you know? And it's like, why not? It doesn't take long to listen to somebody and let them get that stuff out, because keeping it all in, it's not going to do anybody any good. It's going to make that person physically ill.
That's where the stress comes from. Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the illness comes from stress. That's right.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
You talked about what she's talking about right now, like right at the very beginning of the book. If I had the book, I'd be able to open to the page and say it. I think it's not something I printed out. It's so funny.
She doesn't do it on purpose, but I got to see it go. Salt on the open wound. Amazon, we go. Kick your booty.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fun stuff. Well, yeah, there's so much that's taken place with it because of the work that we're all doing. the reality is we need people on this planet to pick this up, to take this to the next generation,
Mhm.
to move it in a different way, to set things out. So to me, the interesting piece was the group said you're going to activate teachers. You're going to activate people to go off and do their own stuff. You're not going to have a big following of your own. You're going to trigger people to go do this and go do that and go do some of this, which I thought was probably not the best business plan in the world, but has worked out really wonderfully.
Yeah.
So I love it. Yeah.
Heather is off to bed. She has to work tomorrow. Thank you,
Bye,
beautiful ladies,
so-
for a fantastic Thursday once again. And thank you, Steve, for your knowledge.
Thank you.
Can't wait to read the book because she bought it.
Yeah.
Amazon did good this time.
Thanks for being with us.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Well,
Evelyn. Chop in now.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, I mean, we have talked about so many things tonight. I mean, that's what
It's
I'm
been
saying.
interesting.
It's like
It's been-
all of this stuff, like a lot of the stuff that we talk about, besides like Yosemite Sam and stuff like that. All of this stuff.
But even that counts. I like Yosemite Sam.
This has been in your book here, and like I said, just it's 200 pages cram packed of a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and life lessons and mastery, and just bravo, really bravo.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really would like to read the other books too. I'm an avid reader. I do love reading. I do.
Oh,
love
yeah. Every book on that shelf behind her, she has read.
every one of them.
Wow.
And I've got
I'll
some.
be honored to send you a few.
She's a bookaholic.
I am. I am.
Yeah, it's really fascinating because we do a lot of reading online.
Mhm.
I have eye problems myself, so I end up doing a lot of reading online because I
Yeah.
can blow it up. And at the
Exactly.
same problem, it enters your brain in a different way.
Yep.
It's not the same as reading a piece of a book. I don't
know.
know why.
I like the other book. Yeah, I have to because my eyes wonk out on the computer, and all of a sudden it's like the screen actually starts moving. And I'm like, ugh.
That could be a problem.
See, whereas I'm in reverse. When I'm reading a book, I love books. Don't get me wrong. I love books. I love the feel of the paper and everything in my hands. But when I read a book, my eyes kind of go, I don't know why. I don't know why. But
I used to read books before I went to bed, and I trained myself to do that. So now I had a difficulty doing that too.
But also when I read PDFs,
I can't put it down.
I will read the PDF, but also you can put it on what is that silly thing that I have?
Oh, that's
it also reads it verbally.
Oh yeah.
There's a program that it reads. You just upload the PDF, and it reads it verbally. So I have it going in here, and I have it going into my eyes.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I'm like, for me, that's where it settles.
Yeah. So I tried doing that once, and I can't do that. I can't. Like the voice irritates me, and I read faster than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I speed it up because you can speed it up and change the voice.
Yeah.
Like, get up. Yeah.
Well, you can speed up and all.
Mhm.
That's why I can't. I'm an artist. Like I can draw or I can paint anything. I can't write to save my soul because my brain works faster than my hand can write.
Mhm.
So it's like a bunch of scribbles, And
I
it's
had that difficulty. I was not a writer. Like I said, I never dreamed that I could actually express myself in that way.
Mhm.
Well, you do
But
really.
I think I had a lot of help. Maybe mom was helping, but the reality is it started coming out. And then I had some really good editors. Sandy Sedgebeer came on board, really helped out a lot. She actually became a board member of our organization early on. So I've had some really good friends that have been around me that have helped with the work. And I have no doubt that the group organized a lot of that. The synchronicities are incredible. That's something I'd like to write a book about down the road. All these people that say, you're not going to believe how I found you. Go tell me the story.
Exactly.
We've got all these incredible stories about this and this and this. And
Mhm. Steve, what is your mother's name?
I'm sorry.
Say what?
Steve, what was your mother's name?
Virginia Adams.
Is that who's around you?
I think so.
Probably. I don't actually feel beings around me. The group
I do.
tells me.
It's
Yeah.
not always, but
Some-
especially when I do shows, there's generally somebody will pop in that needs to be, and I can. Your mom is the energy is loving, it's affectionate, but she's like, she takes her time, doesn't jump in with two. She doesn't go, "Hey, I'm here." She sort of stands back. That's why I've had the shivers through most of the show.
Interesting.
And she's like, "But Virginia Adams, VA, okay." If I ever continue to get any more from her, I will definitely shoot you a message.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fascinating. That's one area that occasionally that will come up for me, but not generally. Occasionally,
Right.
when I'm doing a private session, they'll say, "Tell them about something that happened with her father," or "Tell them about what her dad was feeling," or "Tell them about Uncle Harry," or something of that nature. So sometimes they'll get into that, but I don't actually consider myself a medium. I don't.
Yeah, same
I don't
here.
have that. I don't have that gift the way that. Well, you do. You pick it up right away.
Yeah, but I don't consider it. I don't consider myself to be a medium, because for me, a medium does one thing. Everything that I do is sort of built on top of each other. Even as a Reiki master, I took the course with my master, and it's the only time I've ever called him my master. But anyway, I've taken a course with them, and I learned what I needed to learn. And now when I do it, when I send my healing out, I asked one of my friends who has a lot of healing modalities. I said, "Look, can I just send it to you? Because I know people tell me they get what I gave them, but they don't know how to describe it for me to understand it. They just know that it feels better and things are working." So I sent her my form of healing, Reiki, for lack of a better word. And she said there was a combination of 3 healing modalities. Reiki, oh God, I can't remember the other 2, but it was shamanistic something, and one more, but I can't remember what it is. But I was like, okay, that makes sense, because even my views on religion or spirituality, people go, "Well, you were born and raised a Catholic." I said, "Dude, I took all 3 sacraments, and I can be married and buried in a church. But when I be buried for the church, my funeral, I have my best friend who's going to be walking down in that death thing with the sickle going," and the song that will be playing, it will be the Wizard of Oz, "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." I don't take mourning seriously. I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm sad when people pass. My mother and my father both passed. It took me a month to feel that sadness, and I know it's there, but I don't dwell on it. And it's like when people go, "My mother's passed away," and I always go, "You have my sympathies on the physical loss," because it's a physical loss that you lose.
Exactly.
You know, because the rest of them, their energy is there. You just have to,
Can't kill that.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I have noticed there are people who have relationships that are very leaning. Not that it's right or wrong, but they're leaning. And if one of them dies, the other one has a very difficult time recovering, has a very difficult time grieving, going through the process. To me, grieving was incredibly easy for me with my wife. We were married for 50 years, and
I'm getting close.
I grieved her she graduated. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
She went ahead. She's saving a spot for me. What else can I say? I miss her. I miss every day. I miss her cooking. I miss our love making. I miss, all the fun things of being a human. But the reality is she's still very much a part of me in many ways, and she'll always be. And I didn't grieve in the way that typically people would have, because I think that the understanding, and I think that's what you're what you're saying.
I couldn't grieve. When my husband passed, I had to go into full blown beast mode.
Your brain never stopped. Her brain doesn't stop. This woman, she's got to have white noise for her to sleep, because her brain is continuously on. That's why she has this ability to create things, to see things that need to be created before they're created. That's why her and Bob are like an amazing team. They work well. He does the brains of it. Like, he's the brains and she's the beauty, and it works the same way as the things that they create. Shh, I'm making Bob feel like I like him more than just his legs. Okay, stop.
But you like his legs.
Oh, those calves are mine, dude. See, they were supposed to do at one of the events. They were supposed to have my signature on his calves, take a picture, and raffle it off. I was like, okay, yeah, just make sure my name's there. Don't care.
Yep. I do have that picture. I just saw it the other day.
Yeah.
I do have that picture. We just never made the basket. But that's for the bash. That's the one in July. So we'll
Fun stuff.
Fun.
That's amazing. Yeah, we talked about the spiritual family thing. It's really huge. And it's happening more now today than ever before, partly because of technology. You and I would not have met if we didn't have this technology. We wouldn't have met in person anyway. So yeah, this is incredible things that are taking place to find that spiritual family, so to speak. I think that's one of the things. That's also another thing that I'm going to say that evil word COVID did, is it shut us all. It shut everything down so that our minds could just go. Yep. Because all the things that happened when we shut down from COVID, there was dolphins in places that they shouldn't have been, or because the waters were too dirty. Over China, the smokestacks were like less. People were going without their masks for breathing. Right. That's
different things that happened that I said, this might be something that's going to stop the human race for a while. But Mother Nature, she's like, she came back full force. How many people walk down their streets when they live in the country, even in the city? I have turkeys in my yard. It's like, dude, I've got 2 Thanksgivings to celebrate. You best not stay around. Canadian and American. But it's like, see, COVID stopped a lot of stuff, and it opened people up to connecting differently through the internet and to connecting differently with source, with spirit, whatever you call him, her, or them. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a foundation, you build from it. And when you build, for me, it's like planting a seed. You don't know what you're starting with, but it's a seed. And then when it grows, you get to see different things. My seed turned into a weeping willow. I love those trees. I've never seen one, but I love those trees. And I know my husband's
in person?
No. I mean, driving by, but I want to go. For me to see it in person, I have to touch. And my husband says in the States, they used to be the trees that they would hang the black people from and the slaves from when they misbehaved or whatever that was. So it's a sad tree to them, but for me, it's not. It has
beautiful tree.
It is a beautiful tree, and I know that the day that I put my hands on one, the energy I'm going to feel from that is going to be like being hit by lightning.
It's funny. I was driving home with Bob from somewhere. I don't know what we were doing, but we were driving down one of the back roads, and a neighborhood house, had this big willow tree, like huge, on the corner of it, like right on the corner of the street. So one street goes this way, and there's this big willow. You don't usually see them in yards like that. You always see them by the water. That is the first one I've seen ever like that.
There are places that I see them everywhere, and mostly in Europe. My fiance lives in Belgium. I'm doing a seminar in 2 weeks in Holland, and I have a lot of spiritual family. We do a lot of events over there. I'm over there quite a bit. The willow trees are everywhere. And they're kind of funny because they cut them way back to where they're just a stump during the winter. And then during the summer, they explode.
Yep.
And they are just,
they're stunning. They're just great.
Gorgeous. But they're everywhere.
The wind,
I want some willow seeds. I want to plant them in my backyard. Right now, I'm being overrun by Chinese bamboo.
Bamboo's hard to get rid of, too. Yeah.
I know, but it's
good luck with that one.
Since I moved. So I was like, okay. Thank God I'm only renting this house.
Well, I had a bunch of rotten trees behind mine. I had to cut everything down.
Well, mine is beautiful green right in the middle of winter. So
that's what I hate the most about this whole show is yours is green. And I look outside and mine is white.
Yeah, right now we got snow. So yeah.
That's that's a 4-letter swear word, right? That's going to go in the jar.
Snow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. Well, I hate to dishearten you, but these are 4 television screens. That's what
I
they are.
don't care. I don't care. But I like the idea of that.
But it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a beautiful background. It's big
Hey,
for you too. It's grounding.
I create my own reality. Exactly.
This is
That's
my
nice.
office.
Yeah.
In its glory. It's real.
This is
Okay.
this is a multitask basement. My office, my work office, my home office, my woo-woo section, and then my art
Your woo-woo
section.
section.
That's what my kids called when they found out what I was doing. And they said, "What's your mom do?" "Oh, she does this woo-woo stuff. Let's go."
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that used on me. Yes.
Mhm.
Right? I know, right? Oh, we all have, but
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. It's not like I remember one time I was at an event and it was run by the churches, and somebody the next day, and because I had my cards with me, everywhere I go I carry a deck of my oracle cards, and somebody asked me about it, so I was just drawing some cards for her, and then people were walking by going, "Oh." And the next day there was a rumor going, that there was a witch at the fair, at the church
you're
fair.
kidding.
And I was
Oh my
like,
God.
really? But what you didn't know, there was more than just me. There was at least 2 witches that I knew of that were there.
So we're there.
yeah,
Yeah, we actually called them. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we have all this misunderstanding and this misinformation.
Exactly. It's the
Wicca-
thing is they fear
Wicca
because they have
was
no idea.
actually early light work. It was actually some of the earliest stuff that was,
Still is.
around.
Yeah.
And incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. The Druids.
divination goes back to, to the cavemen.
Exactly. Exactly. So we think we're uncovering it all when we're really just kind of redressing a lot of the information that's here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The yogis and everything that have been doing this for millennia,
Bajillion years.
and the stages that they're getting to, and then we get like, oh, we're here.
Yeah.
They're like up here, but we think, oh my God, we can't wait to tell everybody about that we.
Yeah, exactly. We got to share with how we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, but but this is a step to getting here.
Yep.
Yeah, it all is, and
It's a process.
and there's nobody measuring it unless it's us.
Yeah,
Spirit
we
doesn't
measure our own. Spirit does not. We measure our own progress. We have our own measuring stick, yardstick, whatever you call it.
The group constantly tells me that you humans have to deal with egos. We don't. That's important to keep in mind. Spirit doesn't have an ego, so they don't have anything to prove. They don't have anything to get even with. It's not important. They just want the information to come through. And
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's because to me the group sounds like they're here to help us to learn, to grow, and they don't connect. People be like, "Oh, is he only just connect? Does the group only connect with Steve?" No, there's many other people out there that probably get connected to the group, but they're just not as vocal about it as you are, or they're vocal but not in our circle of people. Correct. So I mean, it's like, and I love it when people go, "Oh my God, you do what?" That's scary.
Well,
I was like, really? It's not scary. I still have people who do that.
30 years ago, there was a problem with that. I had a problem with do you channel? How do you keep the evil people away?
But no, I love that one.
I have a problem because I don't believe in evil. So it's difficult.
Yeah. Well, the paranormal, the demons out there all the time. Like, no. It's not saying that a demon can't exist, but
so there's a lot of misunderstanding and fear put around channeling in general around that. A lot of that has gone away. I am so happy that we
people's minds have opened up.
It's incredible stuff. So we're seeing much more of this taking place on a regular basis. Like I said, we you've got Copernicus comes out one night, looks at the sky, and determines that maybe we're not the center of the universe. Maybe everything's turning around the sun. Changes everything in that moment of inspiration.
Yeah.
You've got Einstein that used to do that. You've got Thomas Edison used to put himself half asleep. He'd carry a rock in his hand, and when the rock would drop, he'd get up and try to solve the problem he was working on. There was all these people that learned how to tap into their intuition. That's what I call channeling. That's what I call channeling. I think we all have it. We've all had the capability of doing it when we pay attention to it and hone our skills a little bit and learn to trust it. We can create miracles.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you a quick story because you didn't ask one question, and that's how we ended up with the name The Group. Let me tell you about that.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
I started channeling these entities. I became aware they were multiple entities, and that's all I could tell. I was in a chat room. Other channels were in there starting to channel. Today, 3 of those people that were in that chat room are professional channels. So we were in this chat room. They're all saying, I'm channeling Viwamas from the 23rd century, and I'm channeling this entity, and I'm channeling this entity. Who are you channeling, Steve? So I asked them after I started channeling, I said, who are you guys? Because I've heard that, if
There's
you don't
different
tell me
names
your
for you.
name, you're the bad guys, and I have to cut you off. They said, we're not going to say. They said, we're not interested in telling you who we are. And I said, okay, I have to cut you off, plain and simple. And I did for about 3 days. Very frustrated.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I came back after 3 days. I said, knock, knock. Are you still there? And they said, yes, we've been with you for lifetimes. We're not leaving now. And they said, if you won't tell me who you are, tell me why you won't tell me who you are. And they said, now you've asked a good question.
Yeah.
We want to give you messages for humanity, and we want them to be accepted for the love content of the message and not because of a label placed on it.
Yep. It doesn't matter the messenger, it's the message.
Well, and part of that's my life lesson too, because trust is one of my life lessons. So part of that was how that all worked out. But that's how we ended up with the name The Group. I basically called them. I said, this group that I'm channeling says this. And somebody'd write back and say, well, what does the group say about this? And one thing led to another, and pretty soon we're calling them The Group.
Beautiful.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Kind of where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of where it came from.
Well, the group is definitely referred to as lots of things,
Yep. I call mine the dream team.
There you go.
And you're absolutely right. They don't bring everything through me. I'm not an expert. I can't even understand some of the things they bring through. They bring those through somebody else. We're all, I asked them in the beginning, I read a Cryon book, and I read some stuff from Jane Roberts and some other people, and Ruth Montgomery was my favorite. So anyway, when I started channeling the group, I said, do you guys know these guys? Do you know these entities over here? Do you know Cryon? Do you know the? And they laughed at me. They thought that was hilarious. They said, when you're all done, you're going to pull away the veil and find out you've all been channeling the same entity.
Yep.
I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. I think in that respect, I think it's like when people talk about God, their higher power, all or whatever. There's multiple names for it, but it's still the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's that energy that's up there that somebody just has to put a name to it. So, hey, whatever.
That's it.
You call it what you call it, so long as you work to the same path and result is the same.
Yeah, we used to praise the sun until we found out we'd go blind if we looked at it. Yeah.
I would go as red as my shirt in 5 minutes, but okay, yeah.
It's so
okay.
true.
I have to be the bearer of bad tidings. It's 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. 11? Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Ooh, it is.
It's 10 o'clock.
You have last words for our people?
Leave us with some
good tidbit words of wisdom.
Absolutely. We're going through changes. We can see that. We didn't expect some of the changes that are coming. We're seeing all kinds of craziness we're going to see on this planet a while. There's a couple things about that. Number one, the group suggests that if you're walking through a mud puddle, keep walking. Don't stop. Number two, we can do anything if we hold hands. And that's the biggest piece. Understand we're all in this together. No matter what side you think you're on, we can all make this work if we just try to hold hands. That's what I'd leave you with.
I love that.
I love that.
But now you are a part of the Fox Den family for life.
I am honored. I'm absolutely honored.
So that means that if you have anything that you want us to help advertise about your shows, your upcoming events, anything, shoot Gina a message, an email. You can have my email, and we will be out there banging that drum for you, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, and likewise here, we can all spread the message. We can all share some of the joy and share some of the energy to have. I have really enjoyed.
And if you have 8 books, we can have you on 8 times.
There we go.
Did we just not just skim the top of this book? We got to go like deeper dive.
We can do that. The challenge about it is it's so much fun to like I said, it's spiritual family, so we can talk about almost anything and have a great time. So
we're lucky we didn't get on the food topic, so you're lucky.
Oh yeah. So
there we go.
The chocolate route.
Hey, chocolate is ascension food according to the group. It's absolutely ascension food.
It's the vegetable. It grows on trees.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Food group.
Oh, Bubba, you gotta go. Well, as you see, somebody's telling me she's gotta go potty.
Yeah.
I've got her down with time now.
Thank you for
hey Beth.
joining. Please share the show if you are able to.
Yeah, and if you get his book, I mean, gosh, it like I said, just what we've touched now is like it makes you want to learn more. And that's the only way that things will improve. It's by opening your mind and being learned more.
I don't praise every single book I read like this. This is one you got to get. You just got to get it. Right.
That means the world to me. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to play our exit video. Please hang with us for a little bit here. And we're going to say goodnight to the rest of you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests or our own intuitive oracle card reading shows. We are streaming live on Facebook on my personal page and our YouTube channel, the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows, as well as our audio-only venues. We hope you enjoyed our show and our guest or your reading, and we would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, subscribe, share, and definitely hit that notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.